Hi there, it's Skyward Shield. Welcome to a new Smite video. Today we are going over the patch notes for patch 3.22, Fafnir's Wonderland. This video came out a bit late for two reasons. One, the patch notes came out late in general. Like the stream, after the stream, it took a while for this thing to come out. I don't even know what time it came out because the second part is I went to sleep. I was tired of waiting. I just wanted because I have a really messed up sleep schedule again. I woke up at 9 in the evening or 9 at night, so yesterday, and I got up at and I went to sleep at 6 o'clock today, and I woke up at what is now about to be 2 in the morning for November 17th. So that's why this video is coming out so late. It's a bit of their bad and my bad. I should have went to sleep earlier when I first heard about a delay. I probably would have gotten up at around midnight instead if I slept an hour or two earlier, but oh well. So, I mean, I'm probably not going to get any views now, but hey, well, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do here. So, anyway, let's get with the new God skins. Captain Quick Mercury, who is basically the Flash, if you ask me. He's just a Flash reference.
Hey, don't blink, because once you do, you'll be fast asleep.
Then we have Barbarian Thor.
What do you call a raging barbarian? Whatever you want, as long as you're fleeing.
Hail to the King Tyr.
After fighting hordes of the undead, not much else really faces you.
Another zombie apocalypse skin, so it's going to go well along with Uller if you ask me. Barbarian Thor. Some people think he reminds me of Conan the Barbarian. Honestly, he reminds me more of Beowulf if you've read the epic poem in high school. I'm pretty sure you had to. It's a good read, but Captain Quick Mercury, I just think it's like the Flash, just slightly different in terms of personality. Looks pretty good. I thought this would be an exclusive skin or a limited skin, but no, it's not, which is surprising. I mean, they mess with a lot of his body. His Merc is a lot more buff in this one. And now we have some Christmas skins, Christmas in November, but, I mean, these are some really good ones. First we have Snowman Geb.
Freeze, a jolly good fellow!
Festive Ratatosker, who is the biggest asshole I've ever seen in Smite. Like, it makes Loki look like a saint.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
I mean, don't sound like it, but if you hear his jokes and taunts, this guy's a dick. Oh, he's still going. That guy don't shut up. Anyway, I'll probably separate the audio from that, so that way you don't hear me talk over him. No, well, probably not. I'll probably forget, because I'm going to be rushing to get this thing out there. Sleigh Bells Chiron, the last new skin.
Spreading the holiday spirit.
I think that something's with the site, because this site has been bad all day because of there's the super regionals and everyone's like watching the patch notes at once. So yeah, I think that's actually affecting everything. So if I notice it, I'll probably try to mess with the audio for these guys as best as I can to make it sound coherent, because it didn't sound coherent for me. Anyway, we have updated Merc and Thor Mastery skins. Looks really good. I'll take that, especially the Thor. New emote, Mercury gets a dance emote, and new avatars, Rat and Roll, Cutesy Fafnir, and Ferocious Hen. What is Rat carrying? Oh, that's a nut. It's like, what the hell is that thing? I couldn't tell. Cutesy Fafnir is possibly implying a new skin for him, maybe. It looks like a palette swap of his actual skin, which his palette swap is a green one. Anyway, new achievements for Thoth, Wall of Death. As Thoth, use single cliff pane, yada yada yada, narrow escape. This one looks like kind of a clutch. You have to be in a clutch situation. I like this one. Use evade and punch to kill an enemy while you're 25% or lower HP. And then, you know, Odyssey stuff. Anyway, so this is the one they have a HUD theme now, because you know Smite wants to cash in on everything that they could ever think of. So yeah, not surprised there. Anyway. Fafnir's Wonderland. This is a new mode. It's like Jing Chan's Mountain. Remember how they said, oh yeah, if Jing Chan's Mountain is popular enough, we'll bring it back. This is the way they're bringing it back. Fafnir's Wonderland is with the mode Brand New Encounters. Fafnir's Wonderland brings 15 all-new encounters where players will battle against all the winter holiday skins. So like Jingle Hell, which honestly I feel like with Jingle Hell, she's just going to be able to spam her healing. while like I don't know, maybe it's something insanely broken where she's like she may look like she's in one form, but she can use both her dark side and her light side form no problem. That's what I'm thinking, but apparently these are more creative. I'll tell you the one they did talk about a little bit of, but I'll get to that in a bit if I remember. Easy. Then we have an easy mode and a hard mode. You have to play the easy mode to play the hard mode. So the elitist is like, ugh, easy mode is for casuals. Yeah, guess what? You got to get good and start with that. Oh wait, all 50 encounters broken into Tier 1, Tier 2 versions. Tier 2 versions add additional elements to the encounter, making them more challenging. Easy mode. You begin fighting round 1 fighting each of the 15 encounters on Tier 1. On round 16, you change to the Tier 2 encounters. Players at the start of round 1 fighting each of the 15 encounters on the Tier 1 difficulty. 1 to 16 encounters change to their Tier 2 versions and scale in difficulty from there. Hard mode. Players start at round 1 each of the 15 encounters on the Tier 2 difficulty. Hard mode is locked until you complete round 15 on easy. By playing Fafnir's Wonderland, you will earn points towards an achievement. This achievement has 5 tiers and provides rewards at each tier. Earning achievement points. Completing rounds on easy will earn you 5 points per round. Completing rounds on hard mode will earn you 15 points per round. There will be quests during the weekends of Fafnir's Wonderland that will provide up to 100 points toward the achievements. Rewards. Each tier of the achievement will grant the player Odyssey points, which is pretty good, actually. So if you don't want to buy all these skins, but you still want the Goobus skin, they're making it easier for you. I mean, you might not have to buy everything, but you could buy maybe half of these things, and you should have a good shot, assuming you do the rest of the quests. Like, you know, the weekly quests with, like, Roman quests, Japanese quests, those things. The 5th tier will also give a cutesy chest roll with the new cutesy Fafnir added to the chest, which is kind of fucked, because if you wanted to get those if you got the cutesy chest by syncing your Twitch account to Smite, you should have saved on that if you really want a cutesy Fafnir like me, because I got cutesy Medusa, or Medusa. I don't care about cutesy Medusa, and I got normal Medusa. I don't care about those. I want a cutesy Chunga. Anyway, that's beside the point. Leaderboards will be broken into easy and hard mode. But yeah, anyway, so one match that's worth mentioning that they talked about was this Geb, and it's nothing like the Geb in Jing Chan's Mountain, thank God, because you needed Poseidon just because of that one, because without the whirlpool, without spamming the whirlpool, he could just drop without the whirlpool, he could just drop. He just turn into a ball, roll around you, and there's nothing you could do to stop. Because once he gets I don't think. Wait, no, I don't think he can get CC immune, which is the only balance. Because you want to get this, especially when he's a little small one, just keep rolling and hitting you, and you can't do anything about it. Anyway, so what was I say? Okay, so there's a Geb where it's like there's a bunch of walls in a maze-like structure, so you gotta find him. But to top that all off, you guys have limited vision because there's a blizzard going on. You can only see about 7 spaces ahead of you, which good luck with that. And he said this is the hardest solo queue, because if you have a group, if you find him, you can say, hey, I found him when I went through my route, and if not, they have to hear it, and they're not gonna know. And good luck finding him. They have to know where you went, so it's going to be pretty interesting what people do. I mean, you could stick around in one big group, but if you don't find him, you're fucked. Apparently there's a catch when you start damaging too, which I'm guessing is like he's going to move around somewhere and the walls reform and you got to do it all over again. So my guess is CC him so he can't escape and kill him, like kind of like Giant Arachne, where she would just jump from another side of the map when she got below half health. Anyway, miscellaneous effects. It's just updated High Noon and Baron Frostchild skins for the basic attacks. I'm guessing the Frostchild sounds like with a violin being hit, but anyway, there's not much changes to items and gods, surprisingly. Anyway, Odysseus bow got a bit of a swap. It got cheaper, 250 to 2100, which I agree with, and the power scaling is reduced from 50% to 30%. So, again, the only reason you wanted this item was for the attack speed. You wanted the attack speed in case you're like, I'm probably not going to get anything else for attack speed, because this gave you a lot of attack speed. So if you were going to build, like, if you're not getting Concise or Executioner, which I don't know why if you don't get one of those, if you're an ADC, you kind of need one of those minimum. You can go the rest if you wanted to just have one item for that because you wanted to get like something like a Blood Forge. because you don't want Bloodforge or Soul Eater, you want a Bloodforge or Devourer's Gauntlet, Titan's Bane instead of Executioner because it might be ability based. You want Odysseus' Bow to make up for the attack speed. I think it's okay. I'm okay with this power switch because mainly ADCs pick it up, and I'll take almost anything that reduces their power. However, Poison Star, this one was considered broken when it first came out. Like before it came out during the PTS, they nerfed it and it was non-usable. But now they increased the power from 30 to 40. I'm trying to make it usable again, but we'll see if it surpasses Wind Demon King utility, because most people prefer Wind Demon King's passive over Poisoned. God changes. Here's one that I find interesting. Bellona. Now, as you know, I used to hate Bellona. I enjoy playing her now, but she still gave me nightmares when I started playing Smite. But anyway, this is an interesting power change. Scourge, which, I mean, if you're not using your 2, you're using your 3, the cooldown has changed from 18 seconds flat to 20 to 16, so it's going to gradually go down. However, Bludgeon's cooldown went up from 10 to 12. I'm okay with this little swap because Scourge is underrated. I thought it was underperforming a bit because if you wanted to heal, because you're using this to heal off of minions mostly, you take it, because typically a Bellona will build some attack speed, like how I say with Amma. You want to build a little bit of attack speed for your passive. Same thing applies to Bellona in a sense, because for something like Scourge in particular, you want to heal yourself fast, get some hit those minions as fast as you can, or you want to hit the towers faster, because attack speed on Bludgeon, it may not feel like it, but it's moving a lot faster than when it originally is. So yeah, you definitely want a little bit. If you want to go full damage, then by all means get more attack speed, get a kin size, get or something, whatever you think will work with you. Fenrir, his 2 gets a buff because not a lot of people even pick it up early. Seething Howl, lifesteal changed from 15 to 35 to 30% at all ranks. This just encourages, honestly, on paper it sounds like, oh yeah, they're going to skip it, because early game it looks great, 30%, but here's the thing. Some Fenrir players, not all, I've just heard that some Fenrir players like to skip this. Like, I know I was watching one guy talk about Ra, and he said sometimes you might want to skip your 2. I disagree, but I can understand why people do it. But Fenrir fans, they like to just skip the 2. They like to skip Seething Hell so they can rush their 1 and their 3. Which is pretty interesting, but up to them, really. Izanami, who is underperforming, apparently, so they're going to increase her base damage from 36 to 40, basic attack damage increase level increase from 2.05 to 2.4, which I recall, now that I think about it, I recall them actually messing with her stats a lot during the PTS when she was about to come out, so I guess they're putting her back to where she was. Mercury, the fastest god alive, will finally regain his title because his movement speed went up from 375 to 381, which is now slightly faster than Vamana. Vamana was the fastest, apparently, which, okay, that makes no sense, but Mercury being faster scares me. Maximum velocity. Maximum velocity now cleanses slows and makes the player immune to slows for the duration. Actually a little scary. When I saw Susano here, it's like, oh no, it's high res. You didn't learn your lesson, did you? No, they just fixed an issue where the first part of it still could be missing sound effects for Stormkata. Then Thoth. This is surprising. I thought Thoth would get a lot more buffs than this because everyone was saying he's underperforming, he's bad, but you know, everyone says that about these gods. Maybe high res is like, yeah, you know, we'll throw you a little bone, but we want to see where he actually stands when he actually sees a competitive play. Anyway, Evade Punish. It's reduced cooldown from 18 seconds to 16 to 12. So even now, it's just a complete buff for him. He can use his escape a little more frequently, and once you get cooldown items, it'll probably drop to like 10 seconds. Pretty good for him. All in all, interesting patch. It was more of showing off skins than it was, you know, technical stuff like buffs and nerfs for everything. But other than that, I think it's a good patch, especially when you see some of the Christmas skins. But good stuff. Yeah, so like the last patch before Thanksgiving. So yeah, hope you all enjoy the video. Any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll link you the site, but just remember it's gonna be a little clunky for a couple more hours if you're watching this late at night. I'm sure by the morning or by the afternoon it'll be just fine. But the weird thing is I had to go to devs.smite.com. I couldn't find it on the main page. But don't worry, I'll give you the link to the page here if you want to read it yourself. So Anyway, I think it'll do it. I will see you guys in another video.